Hello, welcome to this review of LEGO Star Wars Set 75354 Coruscant Guard Gunship. This set has 1,083 pieces and is rated for ages 9+. This set came out in 2023, and without further ado, let's get into the review. Starting off first, here's the figures. We have Chancellor Palpatine. It's a pretty good figure overall, and I'd say probably one of the most accurate out of the entire set. And the robes on him look pretty good, and we haven't seen a Chancellor Palpatine for quite some time. So it's definitely nice to get him again in this set. Next up, we have the Shock Trooper, of which there are two of, as you'll see here in a minute. It's a classic mixed army style with helmet holes, as we have all come to know as of late. The helmet holes aren't great, but I think overall the figure looks pretty good. So yeah. Next on to some more controversial figures, if you would say that. Of course, we have Commander Fox over here, who I think looks decent other than that kind of center armor bit. That could have used some work, and I think there was some details missing with the helmet, and of course, no comma, which is unfortunate because, you know, like it is the printed thing now and they don't, yeah. But other than that, I think it's a pretty decent figure overall. And next up is another controversial figure with the Padme over here, which I think overall looks good, but it could have used the actual Padme face instead of the one that they used, because they did have a different print design for Padme, but they were just kind of lazy and reused this face from, I forget which figures, but it's not Padme's face, basically. The rest of it I think looks fine. It's not quite accurate to some of the scenes where she's in the gunship, but I mean, it's a Padme figure. We haven't got one in a while, and I think it's decent overall besides the face. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the actual set itself. Now that I got the box moved out of the way, we can actually look at the set as a whole. And starting from the front, you have the two ball turrets in the front, which I think looks pretty good, as well as the whole cockpit section here with, of course, two cockpits. I think one's a gunner and the other is like the actual pilot. And then you have these two little flaps, one on either side. Unfortunately, if I can open that other one, as you'll see, nothing is included in there. Whereas in previous gunships, there's always like a little build or something connected to that, which is kind of unfortunate, but at least there's like room for extra storage or something. They could have included like a little box or something to put like weapons in or something, just something. And then of course, looking at the top up here, continuing our way back, we have the handle, which for me is a little bit small and kind of hard to get my hand in here without bumping the engines. But I think for like younger kids and stuff, that'll be fine. It shouldn't be a problem, and I think it's pretty well balanced overall, and definitely it does its job. So moving on back here, I guess we'll look at the back compartment next. If we open it up, unfortunately it does not have the accurate two-door opening like some previous gunships have had, and there is, of course, nothing back there because it's a troop bay. It's a little bit difficult to get your hands in there because it is a downscaled gunship, but I think for younger kids it'll be fine. They can probably get their hands in there. I had some trouble getting minifigures in because this will sometimes bump them. So you can't put them like right out here. They got to be in there a bit, but it takes a little bit of finagling, but you can get them in there fine. And then I guess we'll move on to the wings next, which overall look pretty good. It's a little bit square down here, which kind of feels a bit off to me. And of course, these are not bubble turrets at all. They should have been bubble turrets. You could have had like the little bubbles, and then you maybe could have put like a stud shooter on there somewhere, but they kind of just did away with the bubbles, which would have been accurate to add stud shooters, which is an easy enough modification, but it probably should have been bubble turrets right out of the gate because it's a gunship, so it should have had the bubble turrets. So that is a little kind of annoying gripe, but I think the rest of it overall looks pretty good. And then if I pop these guys in, you can pull these to open them, which is kind of a nice feature to have. And then of course there's little containers. There's nothing in them right now, but you could use them to like store weapons or like thermal detonators or something. And then right on the back here you have a nice tail gun. And if I kind of lift it up here, you can see the ramp down here, which you can't like access or put anything in it or really take anything out. Maybe a small speeder from a different set or something you might be able to squeeze in there, but it is pretty small and there's nothing included to put in it, so I can't really give it that much in the way of this review. But I think overall it looks pretty good, and I'm definitely going to be modifying it to fix the bubble turrets, maybe split this door and stuff. And then I think after those modifications are done, it'll look even better. But in its just straight from Lego built state, it looks pretty good. It does have some flaws, and some controversial minifigures because they have some flaws. Some people really like the figures, and many others are disappointed. But I think overall it's a pretty decent set. Definitely worth picking it up if you're a Star Wars fan, and especially if you can do these modifications to it, like splitting the door and giving it a bubble turrets to improve the look. If you're into like displaying it or using it in like a mock or something. But if you're just getting it for a kid, they'll enjoy it. They won't care about the little odd bits and stuff. So yeah, I'd still say it's a pickup overall, but you have to be aware of those kind of flaws of it. So yeah, have a good one, and we'll see you next time.